fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4 in the checkered flag. He wins his first NASCAR iRacing.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels including Logitech, Fanatec, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
Good evening everybody and welcome to ARL-TV. Thank you for tuning in. This is the GP260 series, round 14 at Interlagos. I'm Alex Simpson. I'm joined today by Andrew Woodhouse. Andrew, good evening to you, fella.
Yeah, good evening mate. Good to be back for another dose of GP260 action. The Formula 1 season may have started, but the best action, at least today, is going to be right here on ARL-TV. It's the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, Sao Paulo. And we should have a great racing prospect house. We've got 18 guys ready to go.
Yeah, it's going to be a great race. The circuit, obviously legendary, and always makes for some good racing. So we'll see what the Star Mazdas are going to be like around here. I missed last week. Just tell us a little bit about what happened, or
wasn't it a break last week?
Sorry, the week before that. You know,
the week before that. To be honest, I don't know because I was having some issues. Those who tuned into the broadcast will have noticed that. So I didn't actually get to see who won the race. We're seeing when it comes to this week, in the official series races that went on over the last week or so, that the start can be problematic here. I mean, as you very well know, unfortunately, yourself, just because the cars have a bit less power, doesn't mean that the chaos isn't there as well.
Yeah, it's all about turn 1 and the braking into it. So as we just see two guys come together, I think that was Rodriguez possibly, and one of the Ocean Racing drivers. I'm not sure if it was Kirk or his teammate. Can't remember who he is off the top of my head.
Barker.
Barker, that's the one.
I'm not sure if he's there, is he?
Why not?
I
I don't see him in the TeamSpeak channel, so I guess not. One of the drivers who is down today. Just having a look at the results from last round then. It was Mr. Ripkizard who won again, 273 points at the top of the table. He is absolutely storming it. Not quite 100 points above his closest rival, which is Peter Filkoff and Nenad. Those two are ridiculously close now as well. Just 5 points separates them, so the fight for second in the championship truly is on.
Didn't you join us here for qualifying? We've got just over 8 minutes left. And Tony Ripkizard does hold the provisional pole at the moment. Watching him drive the car around most of these tracks this season, it just looks like, it looks like he's not human. It looks as if he can do things with the car that other people can only dream of. And I mean, from a racer's perspective, Alex, it doesn't look like he should be fast the way he drives.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't in some sense. It looks like he's dancing the car all the time, and I think Prost did it right when he looks looks fast. He's not when he looks smooth and slow. He's fast, you know. So it's very unusual that he gets the best out of the car with the driving style that he has. But he makes it work. He is ridiculously quick, and I think that's why they call people like that aliens.
Yeah, I think you're right. He is not human. I think it's going to take a superhuman effort to beat him today, I think, as well. Here on this great track, Interlagos means between the lakes. And Alex, as it is, on the terrain that it's built on, it's extremely hilly, extremely bumpy, as you know very well. What are the challenges of this historic track?
Yeah, well, I think the main challenge really is to find a car that has great balance here. I mean, the first corner and the last corner are very, very tricky, and it's extremely easy to get the car to over-rotate. But they're quite high-speed corners, and then you've got a very slow-speed section as well in the infield. So finding that car that has the great balance to not oversteer in those corners, but have enough rotation and a slow speed is going to be key. If you can find that, as one of the iSport cars goes up, if you can find that, then you're on for a good race.
Don't overdrive the car here at Interlagos either, because it's one of those tracks that you can get into such a good rhythm and find yourself overdriving that, especially the slow corners. There is a, like you said, slow in, fast out, as Charles says, as a heavy crash coming out of turn 3, and he hasn't set a time yet, so he needs to get back to the garage and get out there for another attempt. It's very easy to, like you said, drive too hard into turn 1, drive too hard into the middle sector as well, isn't it?
That's the thing, actually. It's quite surprising that you have to brake a lot earlier than you think here. I mean, just from the week in the Grand Prix series that I did, I found that, just as you said, I was trying to overdrive it, just trying to brake too late and things like that, and actually getting it braked a little bit earlier, getting off the brakes earlier and getting on the power earlier makes so much difference, and it's worth a huge amount of time. But getting that perfect lap, because the track just pulls you into doing that kind of like late braking, so it's very, very tricky.
The two men overtaking opportunities on this track. You've got the main straight, which comes after the very tricky final corner, the young cow there. And from your experience, I know you told me this last week, that you find this to be the hardest corner on the course on iRacing.
Yeah, I think so, to be fair. It's just something about it. It's very easy to get the car to over-rotate, and but also on the other hand you can understeer off of it so simply, and this is what I was saying, basically finding a setup that has that kind of balance, where you know exactly what the car's doing is so important here.
Yep, and also the other overtaking place that might be hard is down the back straight after turn 3 into turn 4. A slightly faster corner than turn 1 is turn 4, but the straight preceding, it's a good chance to pass, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, and depending on what the guys' setups are, that we could see a split here, people going for slightly higher downforce as well, just to keep the car planted through those corners that we were talking about, and a few others might go a bit more aggressive and try and find some time on the straightaway and fast sections. So we could see some different sort of strategies as far as sets go, and that'll open it up for a bit more overtaking as well.
Yeah, I think I remember a few years ago hearing that for the F1 teams, it's one of the hardest tracks to set the car up for. You need a car to be a jack of all trades around here, and as you said, very balanced, and it's a tough track to do that, especially with the bumps.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole of the
in real life, but
well, I was going to say, the whole of the ARL-UK team basically tried setting the car up in the iRacing Grand Prix series. We had a week to do it, and we were all bouncing ideas off of each other, and I don't think we really truly got a car that we would say was balanced. There's lots of different attempts, balanced in certain areas, but didn't really get an overall balance. And I think the World Championship drivers as well that are racing here tomorrow are also struggling, and both of those guys are running completely different sets and balances and things like that. So it just goes to show that it doesn't matter what level you are in sim racing, it's a tricky track.
the men in question are Jesper Pedersen and Pierre Ubitsu. They'll be going in the Drivers' World Championship, as you said. It'll be full Grand Prix distance, and it's tough around here, you know, to do a full race. I've done that before, and it does, you know, concentration sapping, and it's a challenge physically as well, I expect. And those guys will be looking to, first of all, qualify. Am I right?
That's the important thing. Yeah, qualifying. Should be good 45 drivers going for it, so you know, we wish those guys all the best. But back to the action here. 2 minutes 18 left. Mr. Reprisard still got the provisional pole position.
I just have to mention very quickly before, this track also has one of the best corners in motor racing, which is the uphill double apex right-hander. I believe it's called Ferradura. Now, that's very challenging in the Formula 1 car. I assume it would be similar in this car, Alex. What's the main key to that? Is that just not enter the corner too wide or too fast, possibly?
Yeah, it's a very, very tricky corner. You do need to clip the apex on the inside, but as you said, you can't go in too hot, so you've got to scrub some speed off to get the car come back. But you really want to get the car coming back for the second apex, more with sort of the rotation of like powering through it, so the car sort of rotates back towards the apex, and then as the corner tightens up, they find themselves ending up towards the towards the left hand side and the exit apex if you'd have it. So it's a tricky corner, and a lot of drivers will just sort of can sometimes coast around it and clip the two apex, but definitely you want to, like I say, you want to get as much power on as possible after you've hit the first apex. You've got the car rotating, and yeah, make the car do all the work with the accelerator pedal. But it takes a lot of confidence as well. So you know, we'll have a look on the first lap, really, the drivers that have the confidence through there and the ones that don't, because you can make a lot of time up there, and we'll see a lot of people close up on that first lap or pull away. So
I'm sure as well we'll see some mistakes into that first tight right-hander after that, because as well you've seen numerous people locking the inside wheel into there. Very difficult to get it slowed down enough after trying to sort the car out for Ferradura. So that's going to be a key as well. So with just 15 seconds left, then guys putting in their last lap times in this session. Tony Reprisard, as you said, is on provisional pole. He set that lap time very early on in the session, and nobody's bettered it so far. Peter Velkov will share the front row with him, as he has done a few times this season. João Rodriguez and Marco Montaldo, the Venezuela GP boys, lock out row 2. Row 3 is Colin Cunniff, the Scotsman, and John Allett in the Trident in 6th. Then Paul Nelson 7th, Nenad Matijevich 8th. Wojciech Rebstein, Paul in 9th ahead of Fabio Mantellini. Lee Thompson in the first Caterham is 11th, in front of Liam Williams in the Dams. Hugo Preto 13th, ahead of Knut Martinsen in 14th. One of our broadcast colleagues, Dean Prescott, in 15th. Conrad Venter, second Caterham of Aaron Mullen, and another of our broadcast colleagues, our illustrious founder Darren Kirk, who's found 2 seconds from his practice time actually as well.
Yeah,
so good qualifying for
just
him.
want to give a shout out actually for Dean and Darren and everyone just jumping in and helping out with the broadcasting over the last couple of weeks. I've not been able to make it myself, been pretty busy with work and also practicing for the Grand Prix series, so it's more work eating into that time, so it's great that those guys stepped in and let me be able to do that.
Yeah, they did an excellent job as well, and which is more than I can say for myself last week. But yeah, those guys carried the broadcast extremely well. So, what is the main key to a quick lap round here? Would you say it's the top speed? Would you say it's braking? I mean, I think braking is extremely important on this track. If you struggle with that, you struggle with everything, I think.
Yeah, I have to say it's balance between the two. You want to be somewhere bang in the middle. If you can get that balance, you are on for a winner.
Speaking of winners, then, who'd you put your money on for this this event?
I don't think you can look any further than the pole sitter as it stands at the moment. He's been amazing this season, and I expect he'll put on another show today.
Yeah, and I think it's 14 out of 20 rounds gone. I think that has become a redundant question, unfortunately, my friend. So that shows how good a job Tony's done, though, doesn't it? That
Peter or Nenad for the next spot. Who do we think is going to win that battle and take over the championship for second place? That's the real question.
I think Velkov has the consistency. I really do, but I mean, he's outqualified Nenad by 8/10 of a second here today, so that does bode well for this race. Look out, keep an eye out for Venezuela GP in this one as well. I believe they, 3rd and 4th on the grid, I believe they can do a good job. They can challenge the Frenchman now. We wait for the lights to come on.
Yeah, I think everybody's took to the grid.
We will have 31 laps. This 2.68 mile track. In many Formula 1 races.
As the lights come on.
Now it's about to host the GP260 race. Round 14. And we are racing at Sao Paulo. Good start by Repisard. Like everybody else, didn't get away that well. Have a look at turn 1. Yeah, super careful, everybody. That's a well-behaved start, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see.
Oh, almost 3 wide through the curve of the Sol there. Goodness me. Don't go and ruin your good work, boys. Almost 4 wide down the back straight.
It's great to see. A lot of respect from every driver there as well. Know your league racer. It's great to see.
Now we go. Got the 2 Arden cars, those Teo, Mantellini and Nelson. Have a look back. It seems like everybody else is single file, so a good start.
Yeah, he's got one of the Dams cars having a look at one of the racing engineering cars there.
Very sideways into the turn 8 there. Sorry, that was turn 10. Sorry.
That's Prescott having a little battle with Lee Thompson as well. He's also putting the pressure on Williams. I think we've got Nut Martinson in there as well. Oh, a little bit of contact. I think that's... You know who that is. I don't need to say.
In the fence. Might have been contact with Prescott, was it?
I'm pretty sure it was contact there with Prescott.
I don't know really what Dino was doing there, unfortunately. And nearly caught out Nut Martinson there.
Yeah, Colin Cunniff, 5th place here.
Thompson's... I don't think he'll be out. I think he'll come back in and get his fast toe, but... Again, he starts on the back foot. Dean Prescott there taking the responsibility for that one. Good to see sportsmanship. So it's Repisard from Velkov, then the 2 Venezuela GP cars, 3rd and 4th. Rodriguez in front of Montaldo, which we haven't seen a great deal in the second half of this season, have we? Montaldo's picked up his game.
Yeah, he has, very much so. Rodriguez seems to be the driver trailing at the moment.
Was a delight to interview as well, Montaldo. We were up in the booth a few weeks ago. His English is definitely better than my Italian. Dean Prescott seems to have escaped with very little damage, actually, Alex. Could be still going round at a decent clip.
Yeah, it was a funny little incident, actually, so...
Darren Kirk's benefited quite well from first lap incident to 15. We happy with that. Don't think Charles Sears started in the end, Alex. He was having technical difficulties.
Yeah, that crash actually in qualifying almost looked as if like his wheel had disconnected or something.
Yeah, I think he was something to do with his computer that was bothering him a bit there.
Montaldo coming under pressure from Cunniff there, and Alec waiting to pounce.
Yeah, indeed. And what better place than pounce, as we can see now. This group of 4 is going to get very interesting here. So we don't want this to end up like what happened with Eddie Irvine and Martin Brundle down here in '94. Similar situation, as up the inside goes the Lotus of Rabstein.
Yeah, Woodchuck there up the inside.
And now he's got his sights set on Matijevich, who slightly tardy qualifying from him actually. Slightly unusual for him to be down there. I think it shows though, Alex, how Matijevich was one of the clear challengers at the start of the season. I think everybody else has raised the game a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah, I think each week the guys, you know, they really enjoy this series and they like to practice for it, and you know, it's just showing that the longer the series goes on, everybody's just up in their game because they want to perform well come race day.
Yeah, and I think when you've got a yardstick to aim for, like Tony Repisada, I think it gives you that extra motivation to, you know, to do the best you can to try to beat them, and I think that's what guys like Velkov and then Venezuela GP boys. I mean, they're all very talented drivers. There's no question. I mean, you know a lot about what it takes to be a top driver. A lot of these guys have that talent, don't they?
Oh, indeed they do. You just have to watch.
Off goes Allett, right in front of Nelson. Now that might allow Paul the chance down this back straight into turn 4. Is he going to have a go? Oh, he thinks better of it that time. Turn 4, so...
It looks also he might be running a little bit of extra wing there, Nelson, because he didn't really get much of a run. And
no, he should have done, shouldn't he, really?
Yeah, coming up that hill as well, Allett pulled away, so I'm guessing he's whacked the wings up on that Arden. This is what we were saying though, we expect to see different strategies and setups and people go for a different sort of balance. We'll be quick through this infield section and especially coming out of these corners, so...
I think every time Tony goes into the infield section, I think he's going to crash. That's how sideways he is on every single lap. He doesn't pull any punches, he doesn't leave anything on the table, does he? Remarkable.
In fact, let's just jump on board.
Yeah.
With
we want to get scared out of our wits.
With the leader and watch a lap with him as he enters into turn 1 down through the gearbox. Car rotates, perhaps a little bit of understeer going through there, but drives well.
Quite the apex,
no, and he's over the curb there as well. But car's pretty stable there. He's taking the bumps nice through the centre S. He's gone.
Surprised to see that amount of understeer though.
Yeah, a little bit. Yep, just a little bit of sideways moment, but catches the car. But I say catches the car. That's just how he drives. But.
You'll see sideways
uphill and through this double apex right-hander that we were talking about earlier on.
Now that looks nice and controlled through there, but it's this one here.
Yeah, you got to brake so early there. You really don't realise how early you've got to brake, but it takes a whole load of the curb, which is the way to do it. You don't want to leave anything on the table there.
These slow corners are just so scary.
Yeah, using all the exit curb there as well, so getting on the power as early as possible. Perhaps a little wide through the second right-hand hairpin there, but. Didn't lose too much momentum. Using all the track.
Yeah, and a bit
coming
more.
Into the last corner. Yeah, great.
Same on the exit.
It's nice to see that the Star Mazda actually can really use these runoff areas. I know the FW31 has a real issue over those curbs, so...
You were using those quite a bit as well, weren't you? Those runoff areas, astroturfy bits.
Oh yeah, you do, definitely. I mean, every little advice you can get, you know, you're gonna try and take, and the cars are pretty planted over there. It's only really the high curbs that's the issue.
Sorry, Alex, it goes a bit wide again there, Repisad. His lead was cut there by half a second, but from Velkov on that lap. So, and Velkov, you've got to agree, has been his strongest challenger by far this season in terms of actually fighting him on the track, as the two Venezuela GP boys separated by less than half a second as well.
Yeah, well, you have to think that had Velkov won the couple of races that, you know, really he probably should have done. We had backmarker incident with one, and
Lime Rock Park was
yeah,
one, wasn't it?
random,
Silverstone, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a few actually. I think he could have won 2 or 3 more. So that might have changed the whole complex of this championship, because he would have been in front and Repsol would have been chasing him, and it's a different mindset when you're behind in a championship. I know a lot of drivers say, "Oh, I don't look at the table," but they do.
Now then, sorry to interrupt, side-by-side action in the middle sector between Hugo Preto, Fabio Mantellini, Wojciech Rabstein, and, well, this group with Liam Williams and Nut Martinson as well. All very close together, and again Rabstein and Mantellini side-by-side. I don't know if you got this on camera. Down Mergulho, and into the final corner at Juncao. Rabstein with a very wide line. They were going to get an excellent run up the hill. Has the Paul got enough drive in that Lotus, enough straight line speed to get himself past Fabio Mantellini?
Just having some camera work trouble there. Clicking the driver, and I keep seeing Colin Cunniff. So sorry about that to the viewers.
And Rabstein's going for it. He's not shy. You know this.
Yeah, and I mean, that was a brilliant overtake, well controlled. It looked like he'd maybe gone in a little bit hot in comparison there, but took the apex perfectly.
And he set that up with a great run through the final corner. Went extremely wide. I mean, it's risky doing that, isn't it? But you can, as you can see, you can reap the rewards if you get it right.
Yeah, exactly that. As it just runs a little bit wide there, we're getting off track for that, but nothing penalised like in this championship, unlike some of our previous ones where you would lose a point.
The lead is 9 seconds. Sorry, 9/10 of a second. Sorry, for Antonio Episard. He's not that fast. As Velkov just dropped a 10 to him on that lap, but nothing drastic. And you'd think that the way Velkov drives, he drives in a more controlled style. You'd think that might help him towards the end of the race with the tyres.
Yeah, it might do. I mean, obviously we know the guys have got to have a pit stop, and I don't think they're going to put any rubber on. I just don't think there's enough time here, and the stops are quite short, so yeah, he could, if he conserves them now, he could well have a little dabble later on, I think.
However, we have seen Episard in previous races have a reasonably slow start and then just turn up the wick later on. I wonder if this is going to be one of those occasions.
We've got Mantellini having a look at Williams here down into turn 1.
And as he's done it, so Williams, who I think Williams is always of the mentality that, you know, live to fight another day, and you see
and he has
that
done.
Worked perfectly as he just sized him up through 2 and 3. Mantellini made the mistake, and Mantellini might lose a place now.
Yeah, we've got Martinson as well.
Is he going to go for it? ARL veteran. Oh, nearly as Mantellini runs a bit wide again. Looking a bit ragged there, the Italian.
Yeah, is that Hugo Pretro as well?
Rabstein's
holding on to the back of Rabstein, or has Rabstein got through? I think
Rabstein's just got through. I think that must have been down the start-finish straight. Oh, it's Preto losing the back end. Going to cost him a couple of seconds, and in fact Williams now, he might be able to have a run through this slow section. Mantellini really struggling in the last couple of laps. It's like he's doing exactly what we mentioned. He's overdriving a bit, isn't he?
Yeah, and Pretro's doing exactly the same thing as well. You can see twitching coming off of that last corner. Now
Williams
up the hill looks looks pretty stable there. So he's collected his thoughts just for a second and got it planted. But Williams definitely got a chance this time.
That was the most important part of the course, to collect your thoughts. If you're going to do it, you've got to do it in the last corner. Williams now with the slipstream. Can he go up the inside into the centre SG and run deep in there and try to make a move? Mantellini, speaking of running deep, has made a bit of a mess of that.
Yeah, that's Pretro. Pretro went deep and Williams is up the inside. Mantellini's going to try and follow him as well. And you've got Martinson as well. He'll get the slipstream.
Oh, I just to think what's going to happen here. As Preto's trying to make room for his own move.
Williams running extremely deep there. He didn't want Pretro coming back through there. He lost the completely late on the brakes there, but using the exit runoff there as a defensive move.
Yeah, Preto's almost shoving Mantellini off the track, desperately trying, and now he's up the inside into the turn 8 there. Yes,
Williams has got the high ground for the next corner up the inside, so well defended.
Pretro he's going up the inside. Preto, he's got no fear at all. Excellent driving there.
Yeah, he's got it done this time.
That was into the Bico di Pato, the duck's beak, That was a hard
Oh,
nose move. So was
Mantilini!
that. Williams out of that position. 11th Mantilini going in far too hot there. Rear-ending Williams. Now Williams can come in and get his Vasto and make his pit stop now. Made his decision for him, but that was a bit of a... We've seen a couple of scruffy laps from Mantilini.
Is he going to come in? I don't think he is. No, Williams stays out.
Well, he's obviously evaluated it in a short time and realised that he's no harm's been done to that dams. That's what they've been saying as well when he got hit.
We've got Wojciech as well now, so he's built up quite a lead on these guys. So
Look
Paul
at
Nilsson
this.
in front of him.
Sorry, Mantilini, Alex and Martinson. Martinson's similar to Williams really, he won't try anything stupid as off the track he goes. He got shoved out there a little bit. Mantilini regaining the position from the Norwegian. But we've got Rodriguez has pulled out a tiny bit of a gap over Montaldo, but they're still pretty much in fact. Montaldo's actually got through on this lap, so I don't know what happened to João Rodriguez, but his teammate is through. I wonder if he just let him go.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, those guys, it's important for them to finish in the top 5 for the rest of the season. They've still got a chance at this Constructors' Championship, I believe, although Trident, yeah, are obviously looking good. Alet's starting to show some form there as well.
Yeah, Alet's been very consistent second half of the season, getting his top 5s. Belkov is only 8/10 behind Reposad now, but the gap again has been quite static, although he will have toe, and he does look a little bit closer, doesn't he? Got Matijevich and Konev as well. Half a second between them.
Yeah, what's the difference last time? Last lap a 130.0 from Reposad and a 129.9 from Peter Velkov, so 0.9 seconds.
And we're not seeing the trend that we normally get at this point in the race as well, with Reposad suddenly increasing his pace. We're not really seeing that, are we here? Belkov doing a very good job, the Bulgarian, of just hanging in there a little bit. He'll get the slipstream as well uphill. And I wonder if that's partly one of the reasons why he's staying with him.
Yeah, but he was over a second a while back, so he closed him back up. Do you remember that half a second, that lap? So
yeah.
When we were on board, I think maybe he's just got into that zone there. So you know what it's like when you're following someone as well, as he drifts through turn 1.
Both of them, yeah.
When you're chasing someone down, you can always find just that little extra bit of pace, and perhaps that's what's spurring Velkov on here.
Yeah, I think you reference yourself against the car in front. Maybe you brake a metre or two later. You know, you take a better line. You're more patient, I think, sometimes. When you're in front, it's a completely different story, as we know. But interesting though, when you're Tony Reposad and you've won so many races in your career. Likewise Velkov, in fact, but doesn't give in to pressure easily, does he?
No, not at all. That's the thing. Once you've been there and you've had all sorts of people behind you, you get kind of used to it, I guess. One
thing I didn't know about him as well, I found out last week. He's actually a wonderful oval driver as well. He's extremely quick, and so he's obviously a jack of all trades as well. He's definitely a master of one, and that's this Star Mazda.
Yeah, well, for those that don't know as well, he did a profile on In Racing News fairly recently. I think it was up last week, so you know, go and check it out if you want to know a little bit more about him. So it's quite a good little interview. I enjoyed reading it, so know a little bit more about our championship leader.
And we'll see if Velkov can get a bit closer now through 1 and 2. That was a much better line from him. I think Tony is very quick through this first complex, isn't he? I think that's where he's getting most of the time. Yeah,
he looked very, very quick the last lap. He seems to sort of drift into that first corner beautifully, and then he's got the slipstream down this straight. I think think you might be right. It might be a combination. He's perhaps got a little bit more wing on than what Ripusard has, so he can be a little bit more aggressive in some of the corners. But he's not losing any time in the straightaway sections because he's got that slipstream effect.
He's definitely quicker in the middle sector. We've seen that. He's definitely quicker in the slow corners. I do think that Ripusard's style, I don't think it lends itself to great pace on the slower tracks. In fact, some of the slower tracks that we have had, actually, including Okayama and you know, some of the others, and he's had the he hasn't been quite as good as he has on the high-speed tracks. I think Velkov has had the better of him on some of those occasions.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Although Velkov was leaning at Lime Rock, wasn't he? So I might spear that theory a little bit, but I think Velkov is better in slow corners generally. But he's not really gaining on him though, is he? I mean, it was 0.6 of a second.
Yeah, they were almost identical last lap, both 29.9, so...
Oh, as Velkov was extremely sideways, he's probably lost himself half a second there nearly.
Back end hanging out all over the place there.
Getting worth it. There's a battle for 5th position. Matijevic just in front of Allett. It was Cunniff as well. Cunniff's pitted, so that's the first of the front runners.
Yeah, 7 point.
For fuel.
Oh, he's in now actually.
No. Tough pit lane exit this as well. It's not the easiest.
9.3 seconds, so we'll take that as a bit of a judge. Liam Williams did pit earlier on as well. He come in and he was 7.8 seconds.
Yeah, he might be in a good position now. Actually, he's got a bit of clear air, and
Cunniff comes out behind the Martinson and Mantellini battle.
Bit of a squabble is that one, isn't it? Preto isn't far behind that one as well. But I think, has Martinson just got by Preto? Has Preto been off the road?
Preto, yeah, I think he must have been on the previous lap there.
He was off the road at turn 4 there. Oh, and he got very sideways. Normally going off at turn 4 doesn't lose you much time at all, but he lost about 3 seconds there. Preto, so again, he's obviously got some pace, but he doesn't have to drive floppily sometimes, doesn't he? He's seen that a few times this season.
Just as we've got on screen at the moment, Marco Montaldo and João Rodriguez, third and fourth Venezuela guys, just separated by nothing, pretty much as they have been all season. If we're truthfully honest, I think if we look back at the record, I think they've chalked up equal amount of victories between the two of them.
Yeah, they have, and also just saying the leaders have got some traffic now. It's Aaron Mullen. I think it held up Tony a tiny bit. Oh, it's Velkov there's almost contact there between the two leaders. As Ripusard was very slow into the Bico di Bato there.
Yeah, I think this is as close as Velkov's been, so keep an eye. We'll get a judge actually this time round whether or not he's running more downforce on the car there. So although Velkov got a bit of a sloppy exit and Ripusard got a fantastic one, so
Preto has got past Martinson again then, but they're having a ding dong. That hasn't stopped at all. Mantellini's managed to escape
Velkov's
this battle.
into the pits.
Cunniff in the Coloni, closing right up. Yeah, Velkov in then.
Just want to apologise about the ticker not working properly as well, just to everybody. We're only showing the top 8 positions, so it has its days.
Nobody else has come into the pits there. It's Cunniff. He's going to get a run now on Nut Martinson, and Nut Martinson there, he lets Velkov, not Velkov, that's Cunniff through.
And Peter's taking tyres as well. 15, 16 seconds, 17. This is a long one. 17.9 seconds for a pit stop. That could be really, really costly. Let's see what everybody else is going to do.
I wonder if that though might be. He's got a cushion behind, so I wonder if that's the only chance he thinks he's got of winning, and that maybe so. Doesn't look like Repusad's going to give him a chance to overtake.
Comes out in front of the Mantilini, Pretro and Martinson battle, so
That's
got a
lucky.
lot of clear track, but he is behind Colin Cunniff, so he's going to have to do some overtaking. So I think we pretty much guaranteed we're going to see him overtake Colin, as well as maybe the Venezuelan guys as well, if they don't pit for tyres.
Yeah, that's 4th position as well, isn't it? So that's lost him a lot of time. Oh, Cunniff was 7th, wasn't he, before he pitted? I believe.
Yeah, it's put Peter down to 9th place
So
now.
that's a lot of time. I mean, what was the stop for Cunniff without tyres?
Yeah, 9.3. So
17 for Velkov. That's a long stop. Very, very long stop. I don't know if it's worth it. But we will see. 15 laps to go, but round Interlagos, tyres don't really make that much of a difference, I don't think. Not in my experience, at least.
and we have Cunniff here on the back of Pretro.
We wanted to get past him quickly. Well, I think he maybe missed an opportunity there as Pretto gets extremely sideways through turn 1. I think Cunniff could have just had a dive in there, you know.
And we've got one of the Venezuelan guys in the background there, so I'm not quite sure what's happened. Joao Rodriguez.
Rodriguez pitted.
No, Rodriguez pitted, but I swear I saw another one.
Oh,
What?
off goes.
It's not
No, it's.
Montaldo. Who?
Oh, Rabstein. Goodness. Rabstein spins in the middle of the straight. I think he's had a collision. What with? Oh, it was with the turn 3 wall.
Just trying to get a replay up. That was back quite a long way. So let's have a look. Let's have a look, see what happened. We're yes, we're just watching it now, going down the main straights. Let's have a look. Nothing going on down there. So
Turn 3 it is.
the Lotus. I know he's lost his teammate for the rest of the season. Unfortunately, Tom Jones can't make the remainder of the season. It's no surprise, being Australian and with the time zones and having to run the V8 Supercar series for us.
Got 2 wheels on the grass through 3. Did Rabstein.
Yeah, it just hits the wall.
And then, but it's later on down the main straight, if you can stay with it. Down the main straight, he's trying to get it back to the pits. And he spins, and Aaron Mullen needs a change of underwear after that one.
Yeah, his car's in a right state at the minute.
I must admit, he's doing well. He's getting it back to the pits. Not pointing forwards, but, you know, he's doing it quickly. I know. And this is going to be interesting to see if he can get it into the pit lane.
Yeah, Mullen did extremely well there.
I think he was very close there, Rabstein, to actually hitting the pit entry wall.
But he's managed to get it back. That's probably been longer than it would have been to have actually escaped out and towed. I don't know.
Well, since he spun, I think he might have done, yeah. I think if he'd have got it back in time.
Venter's in the pits as well. I'm not sure what's Venter's in there for. Right, let's just catch back up with the action then.
Matievich and John Allett. Sorry, Alex, is the main battle at the moment. Strong performance from Allett though, again, at the beginning of the season. As Matievich pits. So at the beginning of the season, we wouldn't have expected Allett to be challenging Nenad there.
Now, who do we have here? That looks like it's changing camera angles all over the place on us.
Velkov is 2 seconds, well, a second probably now, behind Mantilini, and
Mantilini's
pits.
in. That's actually very, very good.
Mantilini, wasn't it? Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, that was very good for Velkov for him to pit in there. Didn't have to overtake him. And actually, Velkov has made short work of Colin Cunniff as well. So we didn't see that overtake, but must have been while Wojciech was having his little trip around the track.
And Cunniff got by Pretto as well. Preto's going to have Rodriguez for company any moment now. Going to be interesting there.
Yeah, and the other of the Venezuelan guys just comes out of the pits, which is Marco Montaldo.
Oh,
Get the feeling that might be Velkov just in front of him, so it is indeed.
It is.
So Velkov with those fresh tyres is absolutely flying. So we'll have to keep an eye on him, see how he does for the rest of the race. But
however, that is only. I think he made a passed, didn't he, Velkov on the last lap? He's only doing 29.7 though.
Yeah, Repuzard last lap.
30.0 was it?
Well, he's just crossed the line actually and done a 31.5, so if he doesn't pick the pace up, then Velkov will be all over him.
Nice pitted, that's why. He's in the pits. So
let's just have a quick look, just see what he does. The car's not being jacked up, so he's opting just for the fuel. 9.6 seconds.
So Montaldo made a net gain on Velkov there, didn't he? Of good 4 seconds, 5 seconds. 29.5 for Velkov. Repusat now with more fuel, however, he's going to be slower, so we will see Velkov now come back into this race, you would think.
Yeah, he's got a chance. I mean, he's in P2. I mean, actually, it's all worked out perfectly for him. He's had to do a few overtakes, but he's got past them really, really quickly, so there's no one between him and the leader now, so let's see what these fresh tyres can do.
Right, so Paul Nelson has pitted. He rejoins just behind Rodriguez. John Allett has pitted and is just behind Colin Cunniff, who's actually side by side now with Matijevic through Ferradura. Oh, that's tight. Matijevic going for the inside. Oh, wheel to wheel, beautiful driving.
Yeah, Cunniff's going to have the inside line here though, but Nenad has to defend from Allett.
Yeah, Nenad had to alter his line slightly there.
And you've got
a bit wide with Mato. Now then, that could give Matijevic a chance down towards Junkau. I think he'd be very brave to have a move into Junkau. He doesn't, but he'll get a slipstream here. So this is now the fight for 6th position. In fact, it's probably now 4th position with the pit stops. Allett's there.
Just to keep the guys up to speed with the gap between the leaders, 7.6 seconds it is.
Okay, so it was 7 seconds pretty much Velkov lost in the pit lane. Tony Repusat the last lap round where we had 154, but that was with the pit stop.
Yep.
Velkov's out lap was 2 minutes 2 seconds. Gives you an idea of how much he's lost, but also how much he's gained as well. Gained a couple of seconds already. 30.0.
Where the battle is though at the moment. So got Colin Cunniff, Nenad Matijevic, John Allett.
Yeah, that's
João Rodriguez and Paul Nelson, all pretty much in the same shot.
And Nelson coming into it now. Montaldo managed to get out in front of these guys. It's only 2 seconds behind Velkov as well. That worked out pretty well for the Italian. Just a question: if you were Tony Repusat there, and you'd seen Velkov come in for tyres, would you have come in for tyres as well?
Well, I'm not sure he would have seen whether or not he took tyres, because he would have just seen him drop back. He wouldn't necessarily have had a look on the relative and gone, oh wow, he must have dropped really far back.
He wouldn't have known, would he?
Yeah,
no.
so I don't think he knows that he's gone for tyres, although I'm sure as he starts to close the gap up, he'll probably realise what's gone on. As here we have Nenad having a look down into turn 1. He's got slipstream on Colin, side by side. It's all about the braking.
He's going to make it stick.
Colin's late on the brakes.
He's got round the outside, but he's compromised through 2 and 3. Oh, and he really just had to park that on the apex.
And here we've got Allett, who's potentially having a look, make it 3 wide.
And we've got Rodriguez as well. We could be 4 wide here. Rodriguez is gonna. Is he? No, he's not gonna go to the inside, is he? He's trying. He's trying.
He's got Allett.
Rodriguez has lost it. And Allett's off. And Cunniff's off. Matijevic is on. Cunniff is still side by side with Matijevic. He's not going to make that work, is he? Oh, not quite. Goodness me. Only doing his best Colin McRae impression there.
And Rodriguez lost a lot of time there. Let's have a quick look at that back again.
Oh, and he's off as well. Did he hit something?
I think he did. I think I heard some contact. Let's have a look at it again. Fantastic racing though from these guys.
Oh, did he get part of the wall there? Oh, he got a bit of John Allett's car. I think that's what it was. And a tiny bit of the barrier. I think John Allett give him a tiny bit of contact there. Put it this way, 4 guys were going down the straight next to each other. 3 of them came to grief, pretty much. But it was Cunniff that sort of regained it. Matijevich. John Allett's still on as well after the contact, so...
Yeah, he's just dropped back a little bit from those guys. The gap now at the lead, at the front, wow, is 5.8 seconds. Velkov took 1.5 seconds on that last lap.
Yeah, however, on this previous lap, Repisad did 30.2, but this time it was a 31.3, and Velkov comes across with a 29.8. The race is on, my friend, with 8 laps to go. Gap is 5.8 seconds now.
Yeah, oh, Alex lost it as well in the background there. That's going to be into the wall hard. Here he is indeed. You can see him in the background just limping away.
Yeah. 33.3 last time round for Allett, so the contact must have affected him more than he thinks, as Rodriguez looks to have recovered actually. So he's closing, he's about 10 seconds behind Nelson now though. After that, Nelson was one of the main beneficiaries of that. He's much closer now to that battle in front.
Yeah, he'll be delighted to watch those guys battle. I bet that was when he saw them going 4 wide, he was like, oh yes, thank you very much lads. I'll take some of this.
Yeah, but he wishes they'll have all ended up in a big heap at the end of the straight, which was very possible for a while. It was good driving though to, in fact, not to make any contact with each other. Rodriguez did spin, but it's all clean and fair down that straight. It's Cunniff sticking onto Matijevich like glue there. And it was all about the, really what caused that was Cunniff defending the line around the outside of turn 1, which meant it was very slow through 2, and then everybody backed up, didn't they?
Yeah, and then I'd have to have a little check up to avoid him, I think, and that was literally why all the guys can get a run. Just got down in the interview channel, Aaron Mullen. Let's bring him up just while we're watching this battle. Just have a quick little chat with Aaron. Hi Aaron, welcome up to the booth.
Hey, alright.
Tell us a little bit about your race. What happened? We must have missed that to see you up here.
Yeah, basically I've not practiced that much this week, so a bit raw going into qualifying today. I actually did the best time I could volley today, and it was still on the back row. Spun the car about 5 or 6 times during the race. Managed to get into a bit of a rhythm, and seeing Hugo Preto come to me, I thought, well, he must have had a moment. I was obviously a lap down, so I figured I won't try and get past him. And then 2 corners later, he lost it and clattered into me, and I'd already used my fast toe by then, so race over.
That's a shame for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Tricky little track is Interlagos though, so you were saying about spinning quite a bit, but I think you're in good company there, don't worry.
I didn't have that, even though I didn't have that much practice, I did do quite good quality practice, so I'm a bit disappointed, but there you go.
I think the more laps you do on this track, the better, really. What's the difficult part with this car and this track then?
I think it's the lift off oversteer. If you come off that power too quick, or back end just wants to become the front end before you can react, so it is very, very tricky. I was quite looking forward to this race until I started practicing.
Always the case. Alex was the same, weren't you, mate?
Yeah, absolutely. Damn that Codemasters F1 game, making the track seem so great. When it comes to it, it's actually really difficult.
Yeah, that's exactly my sentiments as well. Alright then, lads. I'll watch the rest of the stream.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Aaron.
See you next week. Aaron Marlon from Caterham team there.
Yes, and the more pressing matters, unfortunately for Aaron, the lead is down to 4.1 now, and Peter took another 6/10 out of Tony that time round. So
I think he's just going to have to up the pace a tiny little bit, though. I think 4.1 seconds as the gap stands now. I just don't think he's got enough. He's going to need, with 6 laps to go, I think he's going to need like 0.8 of a second per lap, really, just to...
I must admit, though, 0.6. If he keeps at 0.6 a lap, or even 0.5 a lap with 6 laps to go, yeah, it's going to be, what, 3 seconds?
It's going to be close. I just think he's going to need a lap or two to put a move on him, so I'm not sure he's going to get that.
I must admit though, mate, if Tony makes a mistake, and it's very possible, and because when somebody's closing on you and you know that they've got fresher tyres, you know that they've got the advantage, it does add a heck of a lot more pressure to you than if you were just racing someone with the same equipment.
All the pressure is on Tony as well now. He knows that he's got somebody a lot faster behind him, so he's going to try and push that a little bit more, and that's where mistakes creep in.
Yeah, and he cannot afford a crash as well. We've said he's got quite a big championship lead, but Velkov is his nearest challenger, and he cannot afford to be running into him. Yeah,
well, that said, I think if the positions stay as they are today, I'm pretty sure Velkov wraps the championship up today. So, in fact, I think he can take a second place, and he will still pretty much have it.
About 30.3 then for Tony. 30.0 for Velkov. I don't think it's going to be enough, is it? We've got 5 to go still, but looking more unlikely with every passing lap.
Yeah, 3.8 seconds.
Sorry, Alex, Matijevic and Cunniff were a tenth apart crossing the line on the last lap. This time round, Matijevic comes by in front. But a ding-dong battle all the way through this race. And you often see this happening on this track, don't you? Drivers trading positions because the slipstream is so important.
I mean, the setup trickiness aside, it is a great racetrack, and you know, we can see some fantastic racing, and I can't wait for the World Championship Grand Prix Series event tomorrow. I think here as well. I think that's going to be great to watch people like Greg Hutu, Hugo Louis, and Ryan Kroenke, all those guys going at it. So it's been a pretty great race tonight. So let's see what those lads can do.
And I must admit, there will be some overtaking in that DWC race. That's for absolutely certain. And a lot of the tracks were quite critical sometimes of how little passing there is in the DWC, but we'll definitely get some tomorrow.
World Championship Series, Mr. Woodhouse. It's not DWC anymore. Come on now.
Oh, sorry, is that
they curse at us for saying DWC now.
Oh dear. Well, I'm sorry. I do apologise. Then we've got of course, tune into ARL-TV tomorrow. The V8 Supercar boys will be going at it as well, and that'll be terrific.
Yep, first thing in the morning. So
10 o'clock tomorrow. It's Matijevic and Cunniff now. Cunniff right behind, and he's going to get a run on Nenad. Use the slipstream down into turn 4. Is he going through, or will Matijevic? No, he's braking late, Matijevic.
Yeah, had a little think about it, and didn't think he wanted to risk it at this point. 3.1 seconds is the gap now between the leaders as well. We'll keep you apprised of that while we're watching this. 4 laps to go.
Yeah, Cunniff's thrown away good results before, and he doesn't want to do it again unless he can help it.
Just want to talk quickly about the racing that we've got for tomorrow. Obviously, we've got the Grand Prix qualifying, and we'll have the V8 Supercar Series as well. So that's pretty much straight after qualifying. Well, no, not straight after, but it's pretty early. And,
it's early indeed.
And then we've got the World Championship Series as well. So yeah, it's got a great day of racing tomorrow.
That's it. F1 Grand Prix. I think NASCAR from Bristol. All sorts going on, so grab your beers, grab your food, sweets, get in front of the TV, and first of all, get in front of your computer at 10 o'clock in the morning, like I say, ARL-TV V8 Supercars, of our best leagues. Fun to watch these races, or as Cunniff slides into turn 1, he really wants to set Matijevic up. But look at Paul Nelson, Alex, very, very quietly catching these guys. He's right on the back of them now.
Yeah, I think if these two have a little battle, they could find themselves losing the position to Paul.
And the lead is down to 2.4 seconds. 3 laps to go. Velkov took that time 7/10 out of Tony. I don't think this is over just yet.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this battle here for the rest of the lap, but we'll jump on board, I think, with Velkov, because while this is a great little battle, the fight could really hot up at the front there, I think.
Yeah, we need to see what Velkov can see. Chasing down the Frenchman. But he's definitely closer, isn't he, this time? What's 2.4? Now 1.7. There's 2 laps to go. And I think João Rodrigues and John Allett have made contact, but that's not what we are focusing on here, as Velkov is really pushing now. He's right on the inside curve through turn 3, possibly losing a tiny bit of time through there.
That's just the fastest way around. Drag the car around on that curb all the way. It's all about the distance you travel. Tony runs a little bit wide, trying to get every tiny little bit out of the car with the worn out tyres.
Velkov ever closer. And this is where he's going to have the grip, isn't it? This is where he's going to have the advantage through Ferradura, down into the turn 8. Through 9, where you pretty much got to be on the power all the way around it. So much closer now into Pico de Pato.
Still don't think he's close enough to get any sort of slipstream at this point, though.
No, and this might be realistically his last chance.
Oh, a little bit tight
right
on the last corner, but
he's going to have to do it either into turn 4, but I don't think he's close enough, or get him up the hill on the very next lap. Tony going right to the inside. Can't afford to make a mistake now. Just 2.68 miles to go. Here at Interlagos. And there's a car, and there's 2 cars in the middle of the track. One of the iSports and the Lotus of Rapstin. It must have been Prescott. And that really affected Red Pissard there. He had to get out of the throttle. That's not what these 2 guys wanted to see at all. Into turn 4.
makes it all the more interesting for us, though.
Velkov is right up his sphincter now. Absolutely no lie. Up towards Ferradura for the last time. Velkov looking to the inside, wanting to scare Tony a little bit. The Frenchman will see his mirrors full of that red Marussia. Oh, he's got so much more grip, Velkov. He's only got a couple of chances. Is he going? He's going up the inside. No, he doesn't have enough, but he will have more grip surely coming out of the final corner. He's going to have to do it coming out of Young Cow, Alex. Here he goes, death or glory. Oh,
he's gone wide. He had to try it.
Line. And Tony Repisad wins a titanic battle. Here at Interlagos, Velkov tried everything he had to hang it all out on the final corner.
We've got Colin Cunniff as well. It could be a same sort of situation here coming up to Young Cow.
I'm not sure he's quick enough, is he?
No, he's not. Nenad's going to hold on to that.
Paul Nelson with a watching brief. Matievich is very, very happy to come away with 4th place. He's going to be very close over the line. Matievich for Rapax gets that position from Cunniff. Nelson in 6th. And then I'm not sure what's going to happen behind them, because I think Rodrigues is out actually. John Allett comes through in 7th place. I think Rodrigues retired, Alex. I'm not sure what happened to him. But it's Mantellini that comes through in 9th instead.
Which you might...
Liam Williams is going to...
Well, I'm showing Mantellini in 8th and Williams in 9th. Martinson in 10th.
Yep. Williams is going to come across and take the final point. I think Rodrigues had contact with John Allett, but we didn't see it because we were focused on the other battle.
Williams will be delighted with that because he had that that contact from Mantellini and you know, gets himself in the points. And I think another driver who'll be ecstatic with top 10 finish is Martinson.
What happened to Rodriguez? What happened to him? He just disconnect. Rodriguez have a disconnection here. I think he did.
Got it on the last lap, not what you want.
Received throughput fell to unacceptable level.
Ugh.
On the final lap. When he was racing for 6th place. Sorry, 7th place it was. That's absolutely appalling look for Rodriguez. And for Venezuela GP. They do get a man on the podium with Montalvo. But what a finish to this race, Alex. Brilliant.
Yeah, really could have gone anyway on the end there. But Repisard holds off for his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th victory of the season.
They're in 14 rounds.
Amazing. It would have been quicker to have counted the races he didn't win.
I think it would. And, but I tell you what, he earned this one today. He had to fight hard at the end.
Oh, indeed.
And he kept it on the track, didn't he? He didn't make any mistakes. That was the thing. Velkov, he tried everything he could. I'm not really sure he had to launch it over the last corner. Maybe as much as he did, but he had to try something, didn't he? And if he'd have got a good run out of Juncker, I think he would have definitely had a chance, but it wasn't to be. The Frenchman wins again.
Nothing to lose, really, did he, Peter? So he went for it. Fair play, I think.
Yeah, he just in fact said on the chat there he had room behind him, so he took a chance. And you know, why not? I suppose even if he'd have spun, he'd have probably recovered in time. So that was a terrific race. There's all kinds of chaos going on at the end. Shall we see what happened between Dean Prescott and Wojciech Rabstin, Alex? Because that very nearly could have taken the lead battle out of the equation. Into turn 1. Have you got the footage?
Yeah, I'm just seeing if I can find it.
30. Start of lap 30 there.
A few off tracks before that.
But Rabstin, what happened there then? Ah, that's what happened. Rabstin lost the car, and Prescott, unfortunately, nothing he could do. Rabstin had made the move, made the passing move down into turn 1, but he was too hot into the corner, and he lost it. And the iSport driver, well, Prescott had absolutely nowhere to go on that one. He just speared into him. Wasn't much either man could do there.
What we have got is Colin Conniff down in the channel. Let's drag him up for an interview.
Indeed.
Colin, hello my friend, welcome.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're coming through loud and clear.
Oh.
Tell us a little bit about your race. Looked like you had a whole load of fun out there today.
Yeah. 31 laps of been stuck behind Nenad almost. But no, it's been fun. Really enjoyed it. A few times. And then I got quite close. John was joining the party as well. But yeah, everything was kept clean. There was time at the start where I was following Gal and Marco, where Marco sort of checked back in the T1 and I had to check back. And I think that sort of got a accordion effect. I think John was right behind at the time and he lost a couple of places to that. I apologise for that, but I had nowhere to go. And then after that, I think that was when Nenad got past me as well. Then I was just following him, decided to pit early, as early as I could, because I saw Nenad was struggling through the middle part of the lap, and I knew I could go a bit quicker. The only thing I was worried about was where I'd come out and losing a toe if I did come out and clear track. But I came out behind a couple of guys, Hugo as well, who's a bit better today. I apologise for my last week's rant. I was just angry, and just what happened. It was a mistake, and things happen. So, but yeah, it was good. And then when I was a bit annoyed when I saw Nenad coming up behind me, I was like, oh no. And then as I was saying in there, I realised that he must have changed tyres because he was going everywhere. And I managed to get up to behind him, and then he ran wide in turn 4, I think it was, and I managed to get past him there. But then for some reason I couldn't run in clean air. I had to have someone in front of me to be able to go fast today. So I made a mistake coming out of turn 1, and then that bunched up everybody. I think there was 4 of us going into turn 4 at the same time at one point, and then I had to take the same road that Nenad did as well. And then because I went off the road, I decided to let him pass, so I didn't leave the road and come back and gain an advantage. But then after that I was stuck behind him. I had one run into turn 4, but I figured he was better in the brakes, and I hadn't really tried an overtaking manoeuvre into there so far this week, so I didn't want to risk it and just let him go, and then I sort of just couldn't get close enough to get past.
Yeah, sorry, no, go on you first, Woody.
Take us back to the start then, Colin, because we were saying before the race that it's a bit of a bottleneck in there, and it's very difficult for everybody to get through. It seemed like everybody's well behaved. It was a good job by you guys.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you've seen the forums this week, but I've had a bit of an incident with Michael Schellback in the official series yesterday, and words were exchanged because of said incidents that can happen here. But yeah, that was another series. I managed to get everybody at the front seemed to get through okay, and then after that it was pretty clean. But yeah, this is quite a bad track for incidents at the start, so it was good.
I did see a YouTube video actually of the start of one of the official races, and yourself was in it. I don't know if it was that one.
Yeah, you can clearly see my name on the rear of my wing.
In particular, but
I was one of the ones that tried to go around the outside, but I didn't see the incident in front, and obviously that's just one of those things that happen. I like to say it's just one of those things that can happen out here.
Yeah, it's just a typical Interlagos situation, really, isn't it? I mean, Alex knows. Unfortunately, we said on commentary, Alex knows just exactly about that. I mean, I had a bit of a rant to him about one of the drivers that crashed into him the other week. So
yeah, no, it's just as I mean, you're looking like the Formula 1, the World Touring cars. Like when they've been here, every series that comes here, there's always someone that goes spinning off in the first corner. I just want those things.
Well done again today, mate. 5th place.
Yeah, clean race for a change.
Yeah, I was about to say that. We normally, you become famous for having that one little incident, but we didn't see any of that. So yeah,
pretty clean for me for a change.
Well, I look forward to seeing you back on track next week.
Yep, but it's the week after I won't be able to make. But yeah, next week will be fine.
Great. All right, mate. Well, have a good evening. Enjoy the 5th place, and we'll see you then.
Yes.
it's gone. Link on if there, P5. Alex, I don't know whether we want to go back and actually take a look at the start once again.
We could, but I haven't got it bookmarked, I'm afraid. I missed it by a lap. Trust me, we've watched pretty much from about the 2nd corner just a minute ago, so... as we were talking with Colin Cunniff, I had that up on screen, so... just a couple of our guys also down in the channel as well. I think I'd like to speak to Dean actually, just to just to have a little chill mate, because we haven't spoken to him all season. So
first lap, Mr. Prescott. Yes.
Yeah, I'll let you take this one then.
You get back to the. Have you got the footage?
I'm pretty sure I can find it.
Hello guys.
Dean. Good evening, mate. Welcome back to the commentary box.
Yeah.
What an eventful race you had.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just take us through the first lap then. It was all a bit tight and tense in there, and you had a little coming together with Mr. Thompson. What was your broadcast colleague? How could you?
I know. No, I've just been having a look back at it there, and it looked like the front's locked up and just dove towards him. So.
It does look like you just lost, just snatched a break or something, because bit uncharacteristic of you there. Me and Alex have crashed into each other numerous times before, and it's always embarrassing. But it sort of ruined your race a bit in that you had to make an early stop. Though it sort of stifled your progress a bit after that.
No, I didn't jump into the pits. The car actually felt perfectly fine, so I just stayed out until my normal pit stop, really. But
another fail then for me. Okay, tell us about the last lap then, because yourself and Wojciech, he's been he's always an eventful driver to watch. He went up the inside, made a nice move, but I think he just carried a bit too much speed in there, did he?
Again, I had a look at that one straight after the race because I was a little bit annoyed about that one, but no, I could see him catching the past 5 or so laps, so I thought, he's going to get me here. I left him plenty of room coming around the pit stop bend, but I don't know what he was trying to do. I mean, you possibly could get a pass in there, but the speed he was going overshooting basically, so I pulled up, and went for the undercut, but he just completely lost it. So
I think he made the corner, but he just seemed to lose the rear. It's very easy to do that. We've been talking about it throughout this broadcast. That it's very, you get a lot of oversteer off the power in there as well, and there's no way you didn't have anywhere to go in the end. So
shameful.
Well.
Shameful. I'm just watching the replay now. Poor Lee. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they were on me.
Named and shamed, I'm afraid, Mr. Prescott.
I pulled straight off actually, because I didn't know if he was fit to carry on, and I saw him in the pit, so I was like, said sorry to him in the team speak, said sorry in the race, but I think he has his game sounds very high, so
you're going to be getting some grief in the booth then.
Yeah, probably
for the GP series on Sunday, mate.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll understand.
so well and good. I'm sure he'll get you back another time. As for the track, then, what do you make of it? We all love the track, but in this car, what's it like?
It's a little bit weird actually. Most practice that I've had was about 10 minutes before the session went up, and then the half an hour before. So to be hitting the 31s on race fuel was pretty good, but no, the track itself, it had a good flow to it, but with this car, like you were saying, the lift off oversteer was just absolutely horrible, especially through that little tight section up in the middle of it there.
When Alex was saying, Aaron was saying earlier on that he didn't really have any practice either, and he ended up spinning quite a few times. He's quite happy with his qualifying though. It's the sort of track I think that is fairly easy to qualify on, but then when you get into the race, you just need to be in a rhythm, don't you? And it's to concentrate, really, don't you?
It's not the easiest track to qualify on because of turn 4. If you put a right rear wheel over the curb there, you're getting an off track every time. It's very frustrating. Yeah. Very frustrating. But no, I actually qualified on race fuel, so it felt a bit more stable.
So looking forward to the rest of the championship then, Dean. What's the plan? Obviously your pace has been improving. You just trying to rack up a few more points before the end of the season?
I haven't actually got any points yet, so hopefully get some points just to annoy Mr. Kirk.
Yeah, because Darren's beating you in the championship right now, isn't he?
He's just rubbing it in everybody's face.
Yeah. Might have to take your mod status off on the forum if you can't beat Darren in a race,
I can beat him in a race, it's just...
championship then, that's what counts.
Today, actually, as well, so that's another one there.
Yeah, passed him on the outside, actually.
Actually, I think we're just about to watch that right now. You're stuck behind him, and I think you've got a damaged wing at this point as well, so, let's get your own back for you there.
Yeah, like I said, that was from contact with Lee, but the car felt perfectly fine, so just pushed it as hard as I could.
There it is, round the outside.
Oh, that's a good move, mate. I've just seen that as well. It's not the easiest place to go around the outside.
To be honest, this whole track isn't the easiest place to pass anybody. everyone was saying it's quite easy, but as soon as you're stuck behind somebody, you're braking earlier, anticipating them braking, and you just end up falling back.
Mid-Ohio next week then.
Ooh, it's been a while since I've been at that track.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think the last
Me
time I saw
too.
you there, you were in... Did you do it in
D-class, actually.
Yeah. I was thinking you might have done some in the GT series, but
No,
somewhere
I've not
they
done
go
any.
there a lot.
I
Brings
think
back
they do,
memories.
but I've not been there since I was class license D in the Mustang, actually.
Oh, well, that'll be something to remind you about. So I
Yeah.
think the last time we were there was the IndyCar series.
IndyCar
wasn't it?
series, yeah.
In fact, yes, that's when Woody crashed on turn 1.
No, thanks, mate. No, that was.
no. Before the line, wasn't it?
You didn't make it to turn
Oh
1.
god, yeah.
Just after the pace lap.
That's right. That's right. I went, yeah. Oh dear. And then there was Barber where I crashed on the first corner. Motegi where I crashed into somebody else before the start, but that was not my fault. Yeah, it was not a good season. It was not a good season. I prefer to forget. I finished. I must have done. No, I finished Watkins. I was 16th at Watkins. That doesn't sound very good for.
That was an amazing first 2 corners as well at Watkins. What I want to do, guys, actually, is I just want to bring Liam up as well, just while we're sort of... Actually, he's just gone away. Hold on, let's see if we can grab him. Come back, Mr. Williams.
Liam.
Send him a quick poke. Yeah, I want to say happy birthday to Liam, actually.
And speaking of the IndyCar series, Dean actually crashed into Liam in one of those races.
And before he was an ARL member.
Yeah, it was. So that's why I thought, oh, I'll never see this guy again. And then he turns up. It's like, right. Sorry about that.
It's not your car then, that one, is it, Woody?
Yeah, it does look like he's disappeared out for something.
I'm sure he'll be back, he always does.
So then, the Grand Prix series this weekend. Then, are you looking forward to being in the booth for that?
Yeah, I actually missed Interlagos, so didn't know what quite to expect other than some pictures that I did see on the forums of turn 1.
Yeah, we can probably take a couple of minutes to actually talk about that. Alex, you're tackling Road America tomorrow for AR UK in the Class A series. What are your thoughts? And Dean, what are your thoughts as well about the track?
It's a nice little track. It's got a nice little flow. Again, it's got a combination of high and slow speed corners. So this week's been a bit tricky trying to find the balance. I think we got a car in pretty good position for qualifying. Fastest time I've done this week was 35.2. I think pole position at the moment is 35.0. Rocco Brown just got that, so I think I'm sat P4 at the moment, so it's not too bad. I think my quality time's only a 0.3 though. A 0.2 would have got me third, so can't really find any more time because I'm focused on the race pace. With 102 kilos in the fuel tank, the car needs some serious work to get that thing set up to carry that. So yeah, I don't think we're going to see any pit stops, which is a shame because the car's horrible to drive with all that fuel on. But we're going to see some overtaking, I think, there. It should be an interesting race. 3 big long straights. We haven't really got the dirty air issue that we had a couple seasons ago there, so I think it should make for a really good race. I mean, the important thing from my point of view now is I'm not really focused on trying to win any races. It's just all about good consistent finishes now for the rest of the season. For me, I need the championship points more than anything. You know, points mean the pro license at the end of the season, and that's the target. So I'll do whatever I need to do to ensure that I have a safe race and net sort of 200 points at the end of it.
Yeah, that's the aim at the end of it. It is a terrific track. So, Dean, will you be able to just tell us, give the viewers an idea of when those races are going to be broadcast on ARL-TV then?
I would, but I just tend to turn up. But it's Sunday night at 6. Is that right, Alex?
It is Sunday at 6, yeah.
Dear professionalism there.
Yep.
Obviously.
and they'll be broadcasting with Lee Thompson, his victim.
Yeah.
So tune in for fireworks in the broadcast booth.
I'm
6
sure,
o'clock on Sunday.
I'm sure Ryan will keep a lid between us or something.
ARL-TV. Thanks very much, Dean. Anyway, for your comments, and unlucky today in the race. It wasn't to be your day, but hopefully next week at Mid Ohio you'll have a better result.
Hopefully, yes, as long as I can get a good setup and a good flow to it. People worry about turn 2 the Erpin. In fact, we should be doing the one without the chicane into turn 2, sorry. So it should
That's
the straight
that's
one.
the more widely used version, isn't it, Alex? That's the one that we used, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's the one that leads
look.
to the best of the racing. Right, Liam, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Happy birthday, my friend. And, you know,
Birthday.
have some championship points on your birthday.
Yep, yeah, it was looking a bit dodgy for a moment, but
Singular championship point.
no, I got 2.
You got 2 in the end. What happened to? So who finished 10th then in the end?
Mr. Martinson.
Yeah, no.
Again? Okay, good.
Yeah, he was a bit scary behind me. Kept on closing and forcing me into mistakes.
Did you have a view of Mr. Prescott assaulting his broadcast colleague?
But
Were you just in front of that?
I was just in front of it, and I was slightly worried that Lee had avoided me because I did brake a little bit earlier.
It's a tricky corner there, though, and you've had to deal with it in the F1 car, so you know.
Oh yeah, I got spun out there by Fabio as well at one point.
Yeah, we saw that, don't worry.
We mentioned actually, didn't we, just before the race, how that might be that you said, Alex, last week, that might be the hardest corner on iRacing. One of them.
It's definitely one of the trickiest, I tell you. Something about it is just so difficult, whether it understeers or oversteers, or you catch the curb right or not. It's very tough.
So let's go back to the start, Liam. We were talking to Dean, and we said that. Talking to Colin earlier, and said everybody behaved themselves. What was it like from your point of view?
Yeah, everybody did behave themselves. So I was surprised there wasn't any contact because that's just what it's been like in every race I've been in at Interlagos so far. The first corner was just an absolute nightmare, but I mean, we've got a good group and we've raced together for so long that I think first corners aren't an issue now.
Yeah, I think that's the key thing about league racing, actually, is you all start to know each other, who you need to give a little bit of room to, and, you know, who you can sort of rub up closely to, and yeah, this is the kind of racing you see with it. Until, you know, Dean takes out his broadcast colleague.
Yeah,
Just to let you know.
Oh dear, well, we just think there's going to be hell to pay tomorrow. It's going to be an interesting listen. On Sunday for the GP series. What's the rest of your race like then, Liam? After the start,
pitted early. It was a good battle for first. I think it was lap 8 that I ended up getting spun. I pitted end of lap 12 just so I had just enough to get to the end, put myself out of some traffic, and managed to come out ahead of just behind Hugo Preto, who spun it first corner out the pits anyway. So
yeah.
Then I was in 10th, and it was just a case of keeping not behind me.
What did you find that was the hardest part of the track? Then we've asked everybody else. Only fair we ask you that as well.
Getting any kind of consistency through turn 1 is just an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my setup, I was trying to change the brake bias constantly throughout the lap, but I was losing concentration doing that, and then just left it so that I was always locking up a little bit going into the first corner. But I still managed championship points, so that's all that matters.
That's it. That is all that matters. And you know, we were saying that we can't let Mr. Kirk have all the fun with his 6th place. You know, you're a regular competitor in the series, and you have been for a few years now. What's the a few seasons at least. You must be able to. You must be moving forward towards the top 5. Do you feel more confident in getting those good results?
Not as much, because since the new build I haven't really driven the Starmaster official series, so it has only been the GP260 and concentrating on the F1, which requires most of my time.
But how are you doing with that? What's the plans for the coming seasons there? Are you going to go for your pro license next year?
I'd like to. At the moment it's just learning the car and learning the setup, and it's a slow process, just getting the time in the car in, really. But I'll get there. I've got a good set of teammates, so that'll definitely help.
The best.
Carefully,
when you don't get taken out at turn 1, yeah.
That is true. That is true. But we say that for a few of us here as well. And but anyway, we digress. And Alex, is there anything you want to ask Liam?
No, I think that's pretty much it, actually. So yeah, just congrats. Getting some more points for the championship.
Happy birthday again.
Thank you. Time to go and enjoy it.
Yeah. Right. Catch you guys later, and and we'll wrap this show up.
Right.
Yes, fellas. Thank you.
Right, a bit of a long sort of interviewee chat more than anything with what's going on in the next sort of day or two.
Yeah, indeed.
Pretty interesting race today, mate. I'm going to ask you the question: who's your driver of the day?
Difficult one, really, because Tony won. Peter was very quick. I think Paul Nelson had a very good race today.
Yeah, I think he did actually. Paul, great race.
And Marco as well, but I think Marco, we expect that from. And Paul's always in around the points, but I think he did a very good drive. He was very quick in the second half of the race. Velko drove his heart out in the second stint, and he brought himself back in with a serious chance of winning another lap. And you never know, mate. He might have got through. I mean, do you think he would have done it?
I think we saw the extra momentum he had coming out the corner, so I think he had every chance of doing that as well. So yeah, maybe one lap would have been all it needed.
Yeah, and on that note, I think that'll be just about all from us here. Thanks for everybody for joining us again on ARL-TV for the GP260 series. We really do appreciate it. Also appreciate the sponsors as well, GT Omega Racing, News Daily, Apex Racing League, and of course iRacing, making it happen. Good luck this weekend, mate, in your races. Continuing that race for Pro, and we'll broadcast that on Sunday on ARL-TV. Tomorrow morning, V8 Supercar Series, 10 AM sharp, isn't it?
Indeed.
Is that right? So same as normal for that. We'd love you to tune in, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and from myself, Andrew Woodhouse,
and me, Alex Simpson.
Goodbye from Interlagos. Thanks for watching.
I can tell you about iRacing's precision-engineered cars. I can tell you about iRacing's authentically detailed tracks. I can tell you about iRacing's incredibly satisfying physics. But what I can't tell you is what it's like to be part of this.